Santa sent me help for the holiday rush, but the self is chaos, a red-green brush. Safety goggles, nah, he won't comply. Pointy shoes, snag gas lines, I'm ready to cry. Elf in the lab, get out of my space. You're a walking hazard, a flammable disgrace. Elf in the lab, you're wrecking my scene. It's a biochemical nightmare, a Christmas obscene. He's chugging the ethanol, says it's a brew. Licking the petri dishes like the fondue. Spill the gear on the floor, he's skating around. I'm yelling but his ears don't hear a sound. Inspector's coming any minute now. This place will blow, I don't know how. Elf in the lab, get out of my space. You're a walking hazard, a flammable disgrace. Elf in the lab, you're wrecking my scene. It's a biochemical nightmare, a Christmas obscene. Turn my back 1 second, centrifuge spins. Elf presses all the buttons just to see what begins. PCR machine glowing, candy cane bright. Cloning themselves, no, not right. Lights flicker, hard tubes rattle and hum. One little elf becomes 12, here they come. Marching in a row with identical grins. 12 tiny hazards, the chaos begins. Tiny footsteps pounding down the hall. Cloned reinforcements answering the call. Owls in the lab, get out of my space. Yo, you're multiplying menace, a combustible rays. Owls in the lab, you're wrecking my scene. It's a biochemical nightmare, a Christmas obscene. They turn pipettes into swords, shouting and guard. One elf is rewiring the freezer, finding it hard. Another's juggling acids in a big tree dance. Usher would faint if they saw this at a glance. They build a fortress from laid boats and tips. Crown their leader, Captain Chaos, with smirking lips. Declare independence in a lab glove crown. If the dean walks in, I'm going straight down. Now they're cloning again, the machines on repeat. 20, 30, 40 marching, tiny feet.